Hey, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Rick House Reviews. It is Ryan.
Doug.
And today we're going to be doing a side-by-side review. Larceny B524, 125.4 proof. I think that's like 62.7, 62.6. And the C924, 125.1. On our new 100-point scale that we decided we're going to use on the channel here. Pretty similar to some other bourbon YouTubers, but I think a lot of people use a similar one because it makes a lot of sense. 25 points for aroma.
There you go.
30 points for flavor.
Most important.
25 points for finish.
Even better.
10 points for wood. Doug or I buy this bottle again.
As always.
And 10 points for would we recommend it to someone else?
Especially if you're new to the bourbon line or if you're advanced. Let's figure it out.
I feel like 10 on the last one is you should run out and buy this bottle immediately.
Without a shadow of doubt.
And a 1 is if you see this bottle in a store, you should turn around and walk out.
Most will probably get roughly the 5, 6, depending on.
Guessing a lot of them are going to get 5s. I feel like more are going to get 5s or 6s on the buy again, though, versus like anything else.
Oh, yeah. Without a shadow of doubt.
Yeah. So, with that, we're going to start on our left. I think it's going to be backwards in the video, which will make it even funnier.
Even better.
Which is the B524. I also learned you're supposed to put, with higher proof whiskeys, you're supposed to put your nose, your lip on the nose of the glass,
lip.
so that you don't get too much of the ethanol and you get more of the scent.
Okay.
Okay.
I like opening it up.
I'm getting some caramel, a little bit of like red fruit, maybe like apple, like caramel apple a little bit.
I'm getting a lot of the oak.
That last one I got a little bit more oak. It's not super oaky though. We'll score them all at the end, by the way.
Makes even easier sense.
So that tastes all of 125.
Yep.
Proof.
Nice burn, but
great way to start the day.
Back end finish gets that Kentucky hug.
It does. It gets the Kentucky hug. It's getting a little bitter.
I get caramel
on my tongue.
Mm-hmm.
Not like pleasant caramel bitter, but like bad bitter. I'm gonna go back in again.
Try over.
See, I taste way more oak than I smell.
True.
And I get some like lemon peel citrus.
Okay. I can see where you're going with that.
The finish is not pleasant to me.
A lot of the caramel.
The finish is not pleasant to me. It's like burnt sugar, and not like good burnt sugar.
Right.
And not like good burnt sugar.
Right.
Either.
This is more of the style that, like, if I want a quick shot, I almost would go ahead and do this at a nice little place. Don't get me wrong. That's just my take.
I don't think it's a shooter, but at 125 proof. All right, I'm gonna finish this. See if I get anything different.
Right.
See.
Again, the nice part is that hug doesn't linger too long. It only lasted until just now for me.
Yeah.
So keeps it simple.
Okay. I also noticed when they changed the labeling, because they did change the label from this year, from the batch 5 to the C9, they now mention that it's a wheated mash bill now.
Right.
Okay. All right, are we ready? We ready to score it?
I got a good score. I think it's an honest score. Let's give it a shot.
Cool. Aroma.
I liked it, but it wasn't top tier and it wasn't overpowering. So I went with 18.
I went
25.
I went with 17 out of 25. I would have liked for 125 to like hit the nose a little bit more.
Give you a little scorch on
make me know you're 125 before I sip it.
Yep.
Flavor.
Flavor I actually really did like.
Okay.
The oak, the finish, but again, I had to keep it kind of right there in the central. Out of 30, it's only 20.
Okay. I definitely think it's a little bit above average for a bourbon. So I went 18. I went 18 out of 30 on flavor. Finish, I went 8.
Ooh, I kept it a little higher.
Yeah.
Because I like that hug. The hug and how smooth it finishes out. I ended up out of 25 going with 15.
Okay. Cool. I could not get over the bitter sugar. Bitter burnt sugar flavor. It was just too powerful for me. Buy again.
I would almost want to, but I'm gonna put it on the lower scale. 4 out of 10.
Okay. I went with 4 out of 10 also. For $64.99, I could name about 10 bottles that I can regularly find on the shelf.
Right.
At that price, I would recommend over it.
Of course.
So I went with a 4. Would I recommend this? 4 out of 10.
As well, 4 out of 10.
I think if you're trying to get into more barrel proof weeded bourbons, yeah, it's probably a good idea. I would recommend this to people that like barrel proof weeded stuff. But I cannot recommend it to more people than that.
Not as much.
Cool.
It happens.
It does. You ready to move on?
We are ready to move on.
C924. Let's get into this one. So this is the new labeling.
Okay.
Oh, that is just smooth. I get weeded funk. I get oats. Oats and oak. I get like almost like an oatmeal thing.
Exactly.
I get almost like an oatmeal smell, which I like in bourbons. It doesn't. This smells like a higher proof bourbon to me.
Big time. It gives a little bit more burn to the nose, which is
a good thing. It lets you know this is a barrel on the smell. Without also being like too acrid from the. It's kind of like right in that nice middle range where you know it's going to be higher proof, but it's not burning your nose hairs.
Exactly.
As we all know, men have nose hair problems.
It happens.
It does. All right, I'm ready. I'm ready.
For being nice and barrel proof, holy hell, that was very flavorful,
very smooth.
Very smooth.
I will say.
No hug.
Yeah, that. I will also say it is that bitter sugar on the finish is still there on this one, which I expect. It's a Fitz product. I expect them to be similar. Exactly. Right? I still get a lot of the similar notes.
Yep.
I get less citrus and more vanilla.
Okay.
And I get a little bit more of like on the palate with the flavor. I get a little bit more of that weeded funk.
Yep.
The funk you expect from weeded bourbon.
Get the funk.
Mm-hmm. It's still the finish for me.
That burnt sugar.
Yeah.
Just barely. Yeah.
Yeah. It sticks on your tongue a little bit too long.
Mm-hmm.
I think if it went away faster, I would score it a little bit higher.
Of course.
All right, I'm not. Spoilers, this is the first video of the day. So I'm not finishing that.
Too late.
Oh, no. Okay, I'm scoring it.
There we go.
Okay. All right. So aroma, I think it punched way above the other one.
Without a shadow of a doubt.
But I don't think it's the best aroma I've had on a weeded bourbon, so I went with a 20.
I just went one step up, 21.
Okay.
Yep.
Cool.
still nice. Again, it did shock you right there at the top, letting you know, hey, I am a bourbon proof, barrel proof.
Yeah. I think I'm giving more room here for better bourbons if we get like BTAC stuff ever in terms of flavor. So I only went with your score for the previous one, which is a 20 out of 30.
Yep, I went a little higher with this flavor at 23 just because of how smooth it was.
This was more
in comparison.
This was more complex than the B5. It had a little bit more of that weeded funk that I expect from it, and yeah, it was a little bit better. Finish, 12.
I kept it consistent, basically 3 points up for all three.
Okay. Cool,
This time around, I actually would give it a buy again at a 6 out of 10.
Cool.
Because I think it's actually a little bit more worthwhile than the other one, but just barely.
Okay. Yeah, 12. It's the middle of the pack. In terms of finish, it could be a lot better. There's a lot of room for improvement. It could be a lot worse. I've had a lot worse. Buy again, I went with the exact same score from last time. I went with a 4.
And then, of course, my recommendation would be right there in the middle of the road, personally. If you're on the fence of wanting to try something different, give it a 5 out of 10.
Okay. You went with 5. Okay. I went with a 6 on recommended. I think if somebody I know was like, hey, I like Weller Special Reserve, I like Weller Antique, I like the weeded bourbons, I want something that's a little bit higher proof or a barrel proof weeded, I would be like, hey, if you can find this on the shelf, which you can, yeah.
This perfectly is your recommendation.
Perfect.
I see how it is. Yeah.
Yeah. I will have both scores over the bottles below right now, through the magic of post editing. I think the scores show the C924 is better.
I believe so. This time around, sure.
For sure. There's another video this is going to be in soon. And I am interested in seeing how it's going to hold up to another C924.
Oh, geez.
So stay tuned for that one. However, I believe our next video that's going to come out is going to be Four Roses Red Label, because I did get my hands on a couple of the bottles with their new release, which I'm really, really excited about. And we'll talk more about that in that video. As always, guys, engage the algorithm. Like, comment, subscribe, send your bourbon friends. Rip us in the comments for our terrible takes and palates below, please.
Help us figure out what we're actually doing right or wrong.
Yeah.
This is Rick House. Ryan, Doug. Have a good one.
Signing out, guys. Bye.